Hello and welcome to my Autistic Marriage YouTube channel. I am a neurotypical woman married to a neurodiverse male. He has Asperger's/autism level 1. And I want to preface this video by saying not all autistic people ruin everything. The title is a play on words. It comes from a program called Adam Ruins Everything, and he talks about things like suburbia and systematic racism and things like that. And the title occurred to me because there was this one time I was just watching TV 11 o'clock plus at night, trying to relax with a cup of tea, and hubby walked in the door and then disrupted the puppies and then broke boundaries and rules regarding the puppies, and next thing they're in and they're jumping all over me and irritating me. And I just remember thinking, I can't even enjoy just relaxing and watching TV with a cup of tea. I've got to have this man come home and kind of ruin everything for me. And then it took me down this sort of dark spiral of he ruins everything. And it's not really that he ruins everything, but he ruins a fair whack of things, and he ruins them by, as I said earlier, breaking rules and breaking boundaries. So I remember when the children were younger, like before the children even, I couldn't wait to be a parent. I was hanging to be a mother, and he's a good looking man, and I thought, well, we're going to have good looking children, you know. He's going to make a great father. He's got this good sort of family, you know, orientated way of being and stuff like this. So I thought, you know, he's a good choice. And then we have our baby, and wowza. I mean, it doesn't help that him being on the spectrum, the crying really, really bothered him, probably more than the average neurotypical male, perhaps. And every time the baby cried, it was, the baby's crying, go and get the baby, stop the baby crying, push, push, fidget, fidget, shove, shove, really just going all out of his way to get me to make the baby stop crying. And other rules like, when the baby was asleep and he'd come home from somewhere, he'd want to go and see the baby. You know, I just want to go and look at him. I just want to touch the baby, look at the baby. I won't wake the baby, he'd say. And every single time he'd go in there and wake the baby. And so then we'd end up having these silly arguments where I'm going, no, you cannot see the baby. And he's going, oh, I'll be quiet, I won't wake the baby. I say, you always wake the baby, you're never quiet, you always wake the baby. No, I won't this time. And battle. And then it was a matter of wills, like who was going to give in. Him badgering me and me defending myself, who's going to win? And every time he won, he'd go in and see the baby and wake the baby. And this caused this spiral on effect that he hadn't thought about, but I had. Whereby the baby was now 1.5 years old and still waking during the night because he knew that if he cried, hubby was coming. And then it turned into this massive battle of wills of me insisting that we not go and wake the baby, see the baby, do anything with the baby. Just let the baby cry out for a little bit. Let him understand that you can't keep waking in the middle of the night and expecting your parents to come. And eventually he gave in. It was this absolute shit fight. And after that, the baby started sleeping through the night. And even then I remember having these moments of, like, I just want to enjoy being a mother. Can you just do what I ask? Please. Just do what I ask. Let me be the mother that I want to be and have the baby that I want, and all will be well. And so now we've got these new puppies, as I've spoken about in previous videos, and he is breaking all of the rules. And I just find myself regretting having them. kind of like how I felt after I had the children with him, kind of regretting having them with him, because I thought he'd be this good catch and this good dad and this good, parent. And I thought that he'd believe me and trust and understand that I didn't come down in the last rainstorm. I got some smarts about me, I got some wits about me, I know what I'm doing. There are things that I know and there are answers that I have. And no, he's not going down that road. I couldn't possibly be right, I couldn't possibly know what I'm talking about. And he just wants to do it all his way. And he couldn't foresee that his way was going to have issues. So, getting back to the puppies. I have this rule, because they're puppies, that we shouldn't really be disturbing them, say after 9:30, 10 p.m. at night. They need to sleep. They need to sleep all night and get their rest and grow. And he'll go out every now and then and come home late, and when they hear his car, they go a little berserk. And then he goes up to them and, opens the door where they are and lets them out, and they're jumping around like headless chooks, and they're all excited. And it's no different to a toddler, really. You're ruining their sleep patterns, and they have a crappy night's sleep, and, it's not good for them. And so I'm telling him, when you come home, you need to be quiet and don't go to the pups and, just let them rest. And he's like, yeah, nah, I want to see the pups. And so he just keeps going to see the pups. And it gets to a point where when I go out and come home, they don't do that. But when he goes out and comes home, they do that. So they're learning that if they cry and jump around enough, he will come. And the fact that they don't do it with me means that they're quite happy to be left sleeping. But no, he wants to see the pups, and so he sees the pups. Keep in mind, no disrespect to him, but they're my pups. Like, I brought them for me, not for him, though he is an animal lover, and he will not leave them alone because they're just too cute. And so one night, a couple of weeks back, he comes home and he lets them in again, lets the pups in, and they're jumping all over the place and they'll run up and down the house and they're so excited, And as a training method with the puppies, so for example, if I don't want them peeing on a certain part of the garden, I will spray a lemon essential oil spritzer there. They don't like the smell of lemon. So I use my little spritzer as my training tool. And so this one time he let the pups in, and I just grabbed the spritzer, and it's just so ridiculous that these situations happen in my life. I start spritzing him. I'm like, I'm at a loss. I don't know how to get him to stop. He isn't stopping. He's not listening to me. He's not respecting my boundaries, not respecting the rules, doesn't give a flying beep. Anyway, so I start spritzing him. And he's like, oh, hey, what are you doing? And I say, naughty daddy. You let the pups in. You disturbed their sleep. And he's kind of looking at me like, this is weird. And I'm like, yeah, too right, it's weird. Anyway, the next night he comes home and he doesn't disturb the pups. And they sook a bit and whinge because they know that he's there and he's going to let them in. But eventually they settle down. Then the next time he comes home late, they don't make a sound because they learned already. He's not coming. It's time for sleep, And it's just simple things like that. Like, if they learn that you're not coming, they will just stay asleep and they'll rest because they know that they should be resting, instead of being hyped up at 11 o'clock at night. And as I said, it's just silly that I have to get that squirter out in order to prove any kind of point or to even kind of win. And it's even stupid as I say the word win, that's our relationship. There's winners and there's losers, and usually I'm the loser because he will just break the rules and not respect the boundaries. And this has happened in so many areas of our life. My garden, his dog, the one that I brought him for his birthday or Christmas years ago, the children, sex, all of the boundaries that you think you're going to set, it just breaks them all. And chances are, in a couple of months' time, he'll forget all about the squirt and let the pups in because he's got a very poor memory or something. I don't know what it is, but he'll do it again anyway because he wants to. And then we'll have another battle because that's how our life rolls. And that's what I mean by autism in my case. It ruins everything. And by everything, I just mean I just want a peaceful life where I can sit down and relax and watch my movie and enjoy a cup of tea and not have to stress about what he's going to do outside of the rules and the boundaries that I've set. And if you watch any of my early videos, the ones about the garden, the ones about the children, you'll see that I was trying so hard to implement and enjoy, and he was just, I don't know, just overruling and railroading me at every turn. So anyway, we're sort of slowly getting there with the pups. They're now 12 months old, a year. And he's slowly starting to, you know, get to a point where he's respecting some of the boundaries. I mean, I got years of battle on my hands. And this is what I mean by regret. I just think, oh, what was I thinking? Like, I just wanted these cute little puppies to enjoy these cute little puppies, and now it's turned into a battle. It's going to be a battle forever. And, you know, just like there's moments I think, oh, I just want to give him away because it's just causing me so much headache. And by them, I mean him. Just give him away. Don't have to worry about him ever again. But that's part of the problem in that he ruins everything. I end up having to change and adapt so much of myself that I don't get to be me or enjoy the aspects of being me, such as being the owner of 2 new cute puppies. I'm now to the point where I'm thinking, what was I thinking and why did I get them? This was a dumb idea. Even though they're just super adorable. And I even made a joke with one of my children that maybe I should just grow fur all over myself, like just stop shaving, you know, legs, arms, whatever. And then maybe I'll get the adoration that the puppies get because he comes home from wherever he's been and goes straight to them, you know, instead of say straight to me and having a conversation or something, you know. Anyway, so that's him ruining everything. And I mean, look, as I say that, I have to say that there are things that he isn't ruining. He has a pretty good relationship with the boys now that they're older. And he's quite a good parent in the sense that he really does look after them. And he hasn't ruined our finances, touch wood. I'm very thankful for that, very blessed that he's good with money and he's not ruining that aspect of our lives. So it's not that he's ruining everything, but there are a great many things that I just want to relax and enjoy that he's kind of, you know, putting spanners in the works. Anyway, over to you. Can you relate? Do you have the same types of battles in your relationship? And if you're on the spectrum, can you relate to this boundary thing that I'm speaking of? Does it even sort of seem relevant to you? Like maybe you watch this video and think, you are just a controlling neurotypical and just need to simmer and let him do whatever he wants. I don't know. Feel free to leave a comment below. Love to hear from you, and thank you for taking time to watch this video. I really do appreciate it.